Hola, what's happening? It's Paulie. It's the pre-show, and I'm so glad that the early comers, are here. Let's play a couple of songs. I'll say hello in the chat, and we will talk. We will talk, and we will have a great time. And then our guest is going to be here. He's such a cool dude, and we'll take from there. But this is from last year's performance of Del Castillo, La Malagueña Salarosa.
Ojos tiene, debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas, qué bonitos ojos tiene. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña, salerosa. A tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirle, niña hermosa.
Niña hermosa. Eso. Del Castillo, off of Texas. You might have heard the song on Kill Bill, Desperado.
Que viva Italia,
que viva all that good stuff. Yeah, man. It's the pre-show, just hanging out. I have a couple more songs for you. What I want to do ahorita Ahorita means like right now. Ahorita. I want to promote next week's show because next week's show we have Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Gustavo Galindo. He gonna be here and he gonna sing. And he's gonna sing beautifully for us. Beautifully for us. And as you know, the big show starting in a few minutes. We have Comix Division, OMG, the man, such a cool, he's a cool one. And he's a smart dude. And we're going to be talking about 2 films from David Ayer, Fury and The Tax Collector. So right now, I'm going to say hello to people in the chat, but say hello back. Share the link too. Let's bring up the song from Gustavo Galindo. It's pretty wonderful. And I will say hello to you guys in the chat. Let me take my cell phone.
Sing your teeth in me. Don't let me slip away. I want you to use me. Break. I want you to break me. Or make me feel the pain. Throw and kick me on the floor. And ripping your love. Never gotta know your sweet surrender. And I'm running backwards through the night. And the daylight's coming up so fast. Now your world is closed, you lock me out again. And it gets so cold just trying to pretend that you're still here.
Okay, if you like this music, Gustavo is going to be with us next week, March 9th. Make sure you have your alerts on. Make sure you are subscribed. YouTube loves doing funny stuff.
Light, light me with fire. Burn me in your thoughts. I'm just ashes of desire. If I could take your pain, I'd smash it into pieces and try to get you to believe in the whole of you again. And there I go, thinking that I know all you needed was my sweet surrender. And I'm rolling backwards through the night. And the daylight's coming up so fast. Now your world is closed, you lock me out again. And it gets so cold just trying to pretend that you're still here. Running backwards through the night. And the daylight.
Okay, if you're just getting here, let me wait till this crescendo's over. I'll lower it a little bit too. So if you're just getting here, my name is Paulie. This is the Latino Slant. We're live every Wednesday. And the bedrock of our channel is music, entertainment, and talk. So we're going to have musician Gustavo Galindo next week. Smash the like. Make sure you got your alerts on and all that good stuff. I do a little musical pre-show every time I have a live show. That way I can, share some music with you guys. And that is Gustavo Galindo. Oh, it is past the top of the hour. So, yeah, let's play the official countdown and then you can see my face. All right, let's do this, everybody. Have fun.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's Lance.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
All right, Paulie, let's go.
That's better. Where'd I go?
Pues órale, let's start the show. My name is Paulie. This is the Latino Slant, and welcome. If this is your first time hanging out with us, then yeah, cool, man. You're in a good place. And if it's not, then you're even a better place. Happy Wednesday evening, everybody. I just played you some music from our guest next week. His name is Gustavo Galindo, Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, good buddy of mine. Just got some soulful tunes. He's going to perform live for us, and then we'll have a little Q&A. So, yeah, if you are new to the channel, then you know that we are very musically connected to the whole scene. So before I bring on my guests, let's do two things, right? Let's let you know what we're doing. What we're going to do is we're going to take two films from David Ayer and chomp it up, talk about it, talk about those films, talk about him. I have an article connected to a little bit of kind of just like Wokoso controversy that they tried to get Ayer in. And I want to bring it up to comics because, you know, it falls right in line with all the Wokoso cultural wars going on. And, you know, we need to push back a little bit. And we need to say, yeah, you know, these are good films, or, you know, these are great opportunities. But we'll get into that later on. The other film is Fury, the great tank film from 2014. Oh, my goodness. Woo, what a film. So that is what's going on, as well as just hanging out with comics, because, you know, he's a cool dude. He's very smart and very, you got to look out for those. He's kind of quiet. You got to look out for those guys. But yeah, now the other thing that I have to do before I bring on my guest is say hello to our people that are here, that are early. Darskipio, hola vatos, órale, y venga. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Looking sharp. You're looking sharp. Thank you, Courtney. Eldritch is here. So we got our wonderful members here. Dave Bob, I haven't seen Dave Bob in a minute. Good to see you. JS, deleted. ¿Qué pasó? Dude, drive safe, man. Drive safe. But I hope we can entertain. Lombardi. And of course, the Mexican Iron Man. But we were talking, he really needs to be the Mexican Batman. Oh, you know what? There's something I didn't do. I didn't light my candle. I gotta light my candle. I'll do that in a second. ¿Qué más? Tenemos Blair de Blair. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington. I like that name. Jacob Ironside. Very cool. Very cool. Did I miss anyone? Any newcomers? I think I got everybody. Wookiee Supremacy. What's up, loco? Pass. What was it? Puff Pass. You better take it easy tonight. Nick McCabe. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. What's happening? Okay. So, David Ayer is a filmmaker who gets it. He really gets it. And what I mean by getting it is he there it is. So we can light the lady up. And what I mean by get it is he's one of the few filmmakers, modern filmmakers, that can tell some killer stories and, lo and behold, have some representation in those films, and you don't even know it. And that's what I love. That's what I absolutely love, because that's filmmaking, man. That's filmmaking. And I picked these two movies to share with Comics, so we can chomp it up and talk. So let's bring him on. He's a regular on Friday Night Tights, which is a massively popular show on Friday nights. I was gonna say Wednesday. It's Wednesday night right now. Just challenging, destroying, talking about all things pop culture, culture wars, and it's just it really is an incredible, huge mammoth of a show. He's part of it, so he's been so kind to come on down. Let's bring him in. His name is Comix Division.
It's so weird not seeing with facial hair.
Oh yeah, I mean yours looks amazing. First of all,
well, thank you.
Yeah, welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for introducing me to two very fantastic movies.
Yeah, so you enjoyed it?
Oh God, yeah. Both those movies were, like you said, man. David Ayer gets it. I mean, oh God, I mean, both those movies were fantastic. Hands down.
Because well, first of all, I'm kind of relieved and happy to hear that, because not a lot, I think our community really gets Tax Collector, because it's one of those movies that has gotten so much shit from the Wokoso media and from the Latinxers. And we'll get into that.
Why am I not surprised? My first thought when I was watching the movie was like, have they tried canceling David Ayer over this movie? I mean, it's fucking great.
Yeah, you nailed it. You absolutely you already know. You already know, man. You already know. They absolutely have tried, and it's silly. It's silly, But first of all, let's talk a little bit about you and your channel. I watch.
Oh, I know you do. You're constantly telling me to do better.
Yeah. Because it's an inside joke, because you and your boys just ripped apart Falcon. When was it?
Falcon
Winter
and
Man. I forgot.
Yeah. It might also be called Winter Man.
Winter Man something. And there's that horrible speech at the end that
so terrible.
That's and it's almost like I wish they would have cut that out, because I truly believe it's just a lot more decent than what it actually, But that's just me. But in the speech he says, "Do better."
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring any solutions to the table, but do better, Senator.
Wow. Yeah. So anyways, since then, which has been many, many months, I watch your show at least once a week. I'll say to you, do better.
Thank you, Paulie.
Especially if there's like someone on your panel, I'm like, Culture Casino, really? Do better. Oh man, but tell us for anyone that that's kind of crossing over, some of the Slantinos, a little bit about the channel.
Oh wow, geez. Well, I started my channel back in, I want to say it was 2017, yeah, around August, September, around that time, criticizing comic books, hence the name Comix Division, which is also kind of a mashup between comics at the time was what I was talking about, and Joy Division, which is a band that I was listening to quite heavily at the time. I was trying to come up with a channel name. I was like, what am I going to call this thing? And it's like, Comix Division. Let's try that out. I was criticizing, wokeness in comics, and pretty much at this point in time, American comics are dead. There's just no point in talking about them anymore.
Right. Yeah. My thing with comics is I'm smart enough to know I need an expert with me whenever I'm like talking about something new that Hollywood's doing. I'm like, I'll bring in Clobber in times. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'll bring in Nick Weiser. Hey, what's the origin, or did this comic book even sell? And they'll be honest, and I really love that. And most of the time, anything in the last 20 years is just not good.
Yeah.
Oh snap! But it is a mashup, and that's one of my favorite bands of all time as well.
Yeah, Joy Division is great.
Tragic.
Very tragic. I mean, post-punk is a genre of music I enjoy quite heavily, along with industrial and EBM, and which is pretty funny because I was listening to Joy Division a couple of days ago, and which is kind of rolled on Spotify, which is rolled into a bunch of other post-punk bands. So it's it's been a while, but I'm enjoying it.
Did you ever see a movie called 24 Hour Party People?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay, put that on your list. So it is the story of the making of what is it called? Factory Records. The Joy Division, label out of Manchester, and it also has Happy Mondays, a New Order. They became Joy Division. The lead actor, Steve Coogan, who's like this, the British comedic actor, and he breaks the fourth wall and he's talking to you, like he's talking to us, the audience, saying in 1976, me and Ian Curtis and this other guy went to go see Sex Pistols in a hall, and they were, it smelled like piss and this is that, but it's hilarious. It is an awesome movie. Andy Serkis stars as one of the as the music producer of Joy Division.
Oh wow!
Who, like, comes up with all the inventions, but it's comedic. It's not silly, but there's a lot of humor in this film. It's so it chronicles like the first 10 years of Coogan running the record label, and they're famously had said no to the Smiths.
No, that's hilarious.
yeah. So like that is a really good film because because it's part like docu-feel tragedy, but then just comedy, man, just badass. So, but yeah, no, it's you have a great name, great channel. Don't always agree, but that's okay.
It's fine. We're allowed not to agree all the time on stuff, right? That's how the world works, right?
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's not what they're telling us.
That's how it used to work, I mean, agree to disagree, part friends. Now not so much, I guess.
Well, the reality is, comics is that my neighbors are white, Asian, Black, German, and I love them. They love me. The day-to-day is, we're all in it together, man. And it's absolutely, that's all I really care about. I don't care about just, I haven't watched news in years. I'll either listen to Pool or, The Hill, like, just to catch up a little bit. But, I don't need to. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? I mean, I've never really been a big news watcher, and mainly because, well, the media lies to you, right? I mean, it's that's just how it is, unfortunately. It's one of those things I think we all know, but it's different when you actually see it. And there's several times over the last three years where I've really seen it, and it's pretty crazy.
One final question I have before we move on to these badass movies, and really fast, we got a super chat from Toxic Man Flu for $5. I think this is the first time he's ever even super chatted on my channel, which is like amazing. I've been waiting for over 2 years to see comics do better.
He's right.
Gonna happen, Paulie. No. In all honesty, I like comics a lot. And I really, really appreciate your time tonight, man. And you actually saw both films, which takes time,
I was worried I was only be able to see one of them, and I managed to catch both. Fortunately, the Tax Collector is only an hour and a half. If it was over 2 hours, God, I wouldn't have seen the whole thing.
We'll get into it right now, but let's play this little tip video for you, Toxic Man Flu, because you're hilarious on Comics Chat. So this is for you, baby. Oh, what did I do? I took it off. Oh, that was the short one. He got all right. Well, it's $5. So what do you want from me? No, I have one where it's like 3 different screams I do. Anyways, I love you, Toxic. Mr. Butt Crack Media for 99 Canadian. It's Canadian, yeah, 99 cents.
That's Canadian.
Super sticker.
It's oppression dollars.
It's oppression dollars. Oh, he put caca on there. Well, thank you, but it makes sense. Butt crack, caca, andale. All I ask is that you please wipe. Don't use the shells.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. So how is it, man? Because you've been on Friday Night Tights almost since the beginning.
That was since the beginning, but I've
like
Gary and I we met back in 2018. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had his channel for a while. He was doing FNT for a while. And, yeah.
But maybe you came in around like episode 20 or 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
You've been there for a long time.
I've been there for a while. Yeah.
You've been there for a while. How has the ride been for you, man?
It's been fantastic, man. Gary, is a super cool dude. And, before he got big, we would stream on my channel. I think it was like every Thursday. I think that's when I was doing my original Thursday show. And we'd just talk about the comic book industry. And we'd have another person on the panel, which was a Feisty Fan. And she managed a comic shop. And since Gary owned one, we would talk about, kind of how things were going with the industry and just how the industry, for the most part, has been kind of like collapsing in on itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we really clicked, and we have a good time whenever we stream together, man. It's fantastic. And now he's here in San Antonio, which is pretty cool.
That is wild, man.
Yep.
That is wild. And the show is wild. And the guests you have on. I mean, that's great, man. That's great. Much continued success for sure. Mexican Iron Man for $10. I love meeting the new host of Latino Slant. Welcome, Mr. Comix Division. Mike, you were invited to come on. It's never too late. Paulie, it was great having you for the startup phase. Welcome, Senor Division. Pronounced with the Spanish accent. Yes, I did. Gracias, Mike. That's funny. That's fucking funny, man. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Funny.
Wait a minute. Gary had a comic shop?
Yes, he did. If you can believe that, yeah.
Well, I remember Gary from The Last Jedi, and then I would see him and Jeremy's reactions. Then I kind of fell out, and then the coup happened and Rise of Soy Walker. So then what connected me with Gary was his sobriety, which is I'm coming up on 7 years as well. So it was a great great gateway to this community and to all the different channels, man. It's something else. It's something else.
Yeah. And just, this community is fantastic. I know Gary hates the word community. It's fine. Fellowship community. It's
well, we could say, how about this? La comunidad.
I have no idea what you just said.
I said community in Spanish.
I figured you did.
La gente, the people. Fellowship. I love fellowship. I just saw the Tolkien movie again the other night because of all this mess. And what a wonderful man that guy was, and the things he went through, and the genius. People just don't get it, man. We could just be here for an hour.
The funny thing is, this is one thing I talk about a lot, is that we live in probably some of the best times to be alive in when it comes to humanity, and we're screwing it up, right? And it's like a lot of these people who create these amazing stories, they lived an incredible life. They've had some very terrible things that happened to them throughout their lives that I think they could draw upon when it comes to their creative works and whatnot. And that's kind of the problem you see with most people in the modern day, is that they don't have that life experience. They didn't have any kind of great tragedy or suffering in their life to really kind of humble them to the realities that life sucks. And I think a lot of these modern creators don't have that kind of, they're not grounded like Tolkien or like Kirby.
Or
like,
and I'm creating a video, like I'm just getting these notes, the connection for me, just like as you said, Tolkien, he went to war, man.
Yep.
He went to war. These men went to war. Men and women. Hey, we'll say men and women. We're gonna be nice. World War I, men and women. Another man who went to war was Bill W. Guy who co-founded AA in this amazing book he read. I'm like, what is it about these old white dudes that I love so much? But seriously, doesn't matter the color, or I don't know. I don't care. It's these fully realized human beings that just blows me away when I think about it. And and I'm like that with different people, whether they're singers or just people who have been to hell and back, and then
right,
can where I'm getting at. Yeah. So, all right, let's go real quick. MB Geeks, let's talk for $2. Where's the hat, gangsta? Asking for a friend. Yeah, I didn't. I was getting ready. I forgot to put the hat on. Orale vatos.
There we go. That's the Paulie I know.
Oh yeah, in regards to to shaving, Romy, she, you got to shave every now and then for my lady, so you know how that goes. Anyways, this is for all the chats that have been here. Here's the extended one. Here you go. Enjoy. Arr.
Nice.
Arr.
Hey, do a mariachi one.
Oh my god.
I have to say, his Toxic Manflu, you got ripped off. That was fantastic. The fact that he didn't get the whole one.
Yeah, that's what I thought I hit. I hit the old one, which is just like one, but yeah, so let's jump into it, man. From 2014, David Ayer's Fury, a modern tank military drama movie, starring Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Joe Barenthal, Michael Peña, and I don't know the young actor's name, but
he was great. All of them, honestly, all of them were great. When I saw that Shia LaBeouf was in it, I was like, "Holy shit, the guy can act!"
Yeah, and then you saw him in 2 films now.
Yeah.
So what is? Give me your first just impressions of the movie, because I know you DM me and you were just like, "Whoa."
Oh, it's brutal. I think it really kind of captures the I won't say the aesthetic of war, but just how brutal it is, and just, oh my God. I mean, it's just, unforgiving, and just it's funny because when we talk about character development and the hero's journey and whatnot, and that's the thing I always kind of bring up, is that there's nothing wrong with having experienced characters. And that's basically what you have with the stories, that for the most part, the majority of the tank crew is experienced. They've been through the war. They've had all this experience. And of course, there's the new guy. And it's really about his journey into kind of being accepted by the crew, and ultimately kind of just, I won't say taking his lumps, but experiencing war firsthand and the brutality of it, and just how soft he is at the beginning. And at the end, he's basically a member of the crew, and he's accepted. And it's just like, oh my God. I mean, the things that happen in that movie, I mean, just like I want to say the opening scene. The opening scene is pretty good too. But where they're leading the column, and he sees the young German guy, and then he basically lights up the tank that's in front of them. And the guy that gets out, he's on fire, and he ends up shooting himself. It's like, holy crap! I was just like, picking my jaw up off the floor.
He freezes because he doesn't kill that German kid.
He doesn't kill the German kid that basically lights that tank up.
Yeah,
and you can see what basically the consequences of his inaction and his being paralyzed by fear or whatnot. And he's like, it was just a kid. He's like, I don't care if it's a kid, hang off his mother's tit with a hand grenade. It's like you see a German, you shoot him, because this is the consequence of it of inaction. And it's just like, holy crap! I mean, it's just the story. I mean, and just like, I didn't realize how brutal David Ayer's violence could be in his movies. I mean, just both those movies just have these incredible scenes that are just brutal.
Well, David Ayer is a veteran as well, and his was, I believe, his grandfather, his father, like he comes from a military background, but then he also grew up in South Central. So to me, I just find it fascinating. Everything he's released, whether they're good or not, but this clearly is probably his top.
Oh yeah, top. This is definitely, I think, probably one of his best films he's ever made.
It's a perfect film. It is, I think for me, that line where Brad Pitt, I love where Brad Pitt does to him, because he completely breaks him down, right? The new kid, and then he gets him laid.
Yeah. and as soon as it happened, I knew she was going to get killed.
Oh God, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, they did a great job of establishing this connection between these two strangers, and just like, the potential love. And of course, she dies in a shelling. And it's like I saw that one coming, a mile away.
The thing is that I'd seen it a few years ago, and I've seen it like twice before, and I saw it again yesterday at my mom's house with my mom, because my mom kind of rolls like that, and she loved it. She absolutely loved it, and but even that, like you said, in the storytelling, you saw it a mile away, it still sucked for me when I saw her in the bricks.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing too is John Bernthal does a great job at playing a piece of shit.
But he is, and he's not, and then he is.
That a scene that we're in the farmhouse, and he because he's been giving him shit throughout the entire movie, the kid. Yeah. And he's like, hey, it's I just want to let you know, I really do think you're probably the best out of all of us, a better person than any of us are. And Brad Pitt is funny because it's like, there's like certain roles where he just does a fantastic job at. Usually it's playing like a redneck of some kind, whether it's a pikey. I mean, if you've seen him in California, he's amazing in that movie.
I've seen him in almost everything. Yeah.
Yeah. You see him in Legends of the Fall. I'm like, what's up with this guy? Why do people fawn over his acting? And then you see like a movie like Fury, and you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, Brad, to me, this was his Tom Hanks Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I think I like this movie more. I don't,
I agree with you. I think this is probably a better movie.
I've seen it again with fresh eyes, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This was better than
his visuals. David Ayer's visuals are fantastic, and that's reflected in both movies. Mm-hmm. He is. I mean, he directed and wrote both films, and they're just, oh my God, perfection. I mean, I can't. I'd have to go back and rewatch Fury, but I can't see anything wrong with it. Right?
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing I could really criticize.
No. I mean, really, because it's so self-contained, as far as a lot of the majority of their acting is inside the tank, which is an incredible feat as a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And then you have sweeping visuals, and then and then it's very simple. Here's your mission. Here's your mission.
And those tank battles, man. Oh my God! I mean, they're just like when they're going after that one German tank, and the shells are just bouncing off of it. You're just like, holy crap! Oh yeah, that was some intense shit.
We have a few veterans actually in the chat. Want to thank you for your service. And MB Geeks and his wife, war is hell. Wife and I know that all too well.
I
God
bet.
bless you, brother.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you for your service, man.
Yeah. And I'll just say this, for World War II, my grandfather and his brother, my great uncle, they were in the Pacific Theater, and my great uncle was a hero in the Battle of Manila. So it's just I'm a huge nut for military history, with World War II and Vietnam, and it's just this is this in. And I want to say, so going back to this movie, I want to say that this is also too that this young boy is our innocence and idealism of the world, because that's what Brad Pitt says.
Yep.
Idealism's pretty. I forgot the exact line word for word, but war is real, or war is something like, it was very well said. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows.
Yeah, there's some really good lines in that movie which I've completely forgotten at this point. I wish I wrote them down, because they were just some real gems. And oh god, it's what was it? I'm trying to remember what his the kid's MOS was before he got transferred to being a.
He was a fucking writer.
Yeah, that's right. He was a cleric.
He was a cleric.
Yeah, he was a typist or something like that.
Dude,
I was trying to remember.
This has to be an error. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was devastating. I was just I was feeling for him, but then shoot the damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just oh my god. And everybody does a great job in it. I mean, Michael Pena was great in it. Shia LaBeouf again was fantastic in this movie.
Let's read this little description, and then we'll talk about paint. We'll talk about these characters. Ayer always has a love for films about morally gray men on a mission. The darker, the better. With Fury, and please, if you want to say anything, comics, please. With Fury, he came the closest to capturing that vibe with his ultra-violent homage to the Dirty Dozen. I don't know. No, it's not really a Dirty Dozen homage.
Not really. I mean, they're not criminals or anything like that.
Well, this is Screen Rant.
An homage to war movies, and it is a war movie, but
yeah, this is Screen Rant, so all apologies, guys. But what Ayer said is that he wanted to create a great tank World War II film. Yep. That's what he said. So Brad
I think
Pitt,
he succeeded.
And then some. Brad Pitt may be the name above the title, and Shia LaBeouf was the one who got all the press attention for his method tactics, but Fury belongs to Logan Lerman, who is beyond striking in this as the inexperienced newcomer to the tank who slowly loses his innocence and potentially his mind. Any comments there?
I think that's mostly spot on. I mean, he definitely loses his innocence throughout the movie. I wouldn't say he was going crazy.
No, it's this writing here. It's a story of nihilism and the twisted kind of brotherhood that forms in the face of ceaseless violence. I really don't like that sentence.
No, I disagree with that. It's not about nihilism. I mean, the whole point.
Yeah,
he wasn't saying everything was pointless. It was the whole thing with Brad Pitt's character. He was wanting to bring everybody home alive.
Yeah, they had a mission.
Yeah, they had a mission. Yeah,
they had a mission.
It's the opposite of nihilism.
Yeah.
It wasn't about giving up. It was about purpose.
And it's not a twisted kind. This is actually let's change nihilism. Let's change that word and let's change twisted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twisted to purest form of brotherhood that forms in the face of ceaseless violence. The Ayer certainly did not skip on the boat of Fury. Just in terms of literal filth, Fury may be one of the most striking war films that fully conveys the stained, literal, and metal of such conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It definitely captures the brutality of war. That's for sure.
For sure. Real fast, Mexican Iron Man. Hey, comics for $2. I love that movie, Legends of the Fall.
That movie is crap. That was a total chick flick.
Oh my God! Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. And people are talking about their relatives in the war. It's really wonderful, guys. Grandpa was in the 101st World War II, one of the battered bastards of Bastion, in the Battle of the Bulge. Sorry if I said that wrong.
No, you got it right.
Okay, good.
Boston is the name of the area.
And Sander, more of a homage to the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah. We're gonna remove this story because I got something better for Tax Collector. But yeah, I didn't. These dang writers. And look at Toxic Man Flu for $10. I don't have like the spiffy things yet. I am furious I didn't get the long Latino, but that's okay. You got extra credit for all the machaca I have enjoyed in my life. Do you know what machaca is?
No.
Okay, well, machaca is shredded beef.
Okay.
Fucking toxic. And machaca is really good with it's actually shredded beef as a breakfast. You shredded beef with scrambled eggs.
Okay.
It's delicious, bro. It's delicious. So if you ever hit when you hit your next Mexican joint for breakfast, see if they have machaca with eggs.
That must be a California thing. We have barbacoa, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, you have barbacoa.
Yeah.
You have migas.
Barbacoa is fantastic.
You have barbacoa and what is it? And big red.
Big red.
That's what you drink with the barbacoa.
That's what my wife does.
Oh, is your wife Latina?
She's half.
Cool.
Her dad's Hispanic and her mom is Jewish. So it's an interesting combination.
Yeah, you broke Mexicans. You poor the iron taco heart. I regard myself as a Comix Division fan, and now my Mexican heart is broken.
Oh, I still think highly of you, Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah. No llores. Don't cry. But listen, comics, Toxic Man Flu, this one is for you. All for you, baby. $10. Thank you so much. Here you go. Eso. That's right. That's it. I got Wokosos that hate that tip video. Oh man, why are you making us look like that, man? I'm like, kick back, dude. That's a real Mexican.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, no mames, Wade. No mames. That's so funny, man. Okay, so where were we in breaking this down? We were talking about the actors. We were talking about the story. I mean, you mentioned a few moments. What was like another just, obviously it's such a great film because it's got such a great ending.
Yep. That final battle at the end was just, it was good. Oh, it was really good. And just like the plan they kind of throw together last minute was done very well. And it was realistic, right? It's not like everybody walks away in one piece. As a matter of fact, only one guy walks away. But that's horror, and just the way Bernthal went out. Yeah.
So to say that we recommend this movie is an understatement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every character had their moment. You liked them, you hated them, you liked them, but then, like you said, the final battle was just. And who do they shoot in the eye?
That was Shia LaBeouf's character. Yeah, he gets it in the eye.
So okay, their names are Warhammer, Bible, Boyd. What was the Mexican guy's name? Gordo.
Yeah, Gordo.
And then at the end, what was it? Machine.
Machine. Yeah, was basically his war name.
That was great, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What was there anything in the movie that didn't work for you?
No, I really can't find anything to criticize with this movie, which is very much a rarity for me.
Mhm.
You know, like I said, I have to watch it again. I unfortunately when I was watching it, it was, you know, between work, and I started watching it last night, and I ended up finishing it today. But
Wow.
just like, I mean, there's times when normally, like when I watch like the you know, Disney Marvel crap, you know, I'll have it on, I'll be slightly paying attention working. Where there's times where I'm just find myself turning back to the screen and watching it because it was definitely a movie that kept my attention, and that's something that for me, modern entertainment has a, you know, very much a difficult time of keeping my attention, because normally it's just like, okay, whatever, it's crap. But
Yeah,
this was like,
it seems
good.
nowadays.
This is interesting.
I'm sorry. Go. Yeah,
No,
it
that
seems
was good.
nowadays is that you're waiting for the wheels to fall off.
Yeah.
You know, especially with our, you know, Star Wars and our Marvel shows and all that stuff. I mean, I couldn't believe what I saw with Hawkeye. That was a disaster. That made the Falcon head guy like brilliant. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that was just, yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad.
It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So other things with David Ayer in this film is that the tank, because, you know, one of the questions they asked him, I don't know if you got a chance to see that video.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Like, yeah, it's a pretty cool little couple minutes where the interviewer asked him, "Oh, you know, did you guys shoot this in the tank?" And it's like Brad Pitt and Ayer kind of look at each other. It's like, well, no. What we did is that we created a soundstage on a kind of like a moving floor in the middle of a farm out in Europe where they were filming, and they put a tent over the soundstage. And
Wow.
they're like, that's your $1 million movie there. Like, that's like, you know, they're kind of cracking up. That's your Hollywood, you know. And I was just like, this is why I love movies. I love making
that. That's one thing too. I was wondering. It's like, did they actually film this in a tank? I mean, they did a great job of making it look like
they did.
Like
right.
they did. Yeah.
Like they did.
It was really well done.
Yeah, like they did. So that was really cool to find out. And of course, you know, they did all the boot camp training and all that stuff. But yeah, it was nice to revisit the movie so we can talk about it tonight, you know.
Oh, definitely. And I remember when the movie came out, I never saw it. And so, I mean, this is definitely not a movie I would typically go out of my way to go watch, but oh my God, I'm glad you got me to watch it because it was great.
Well, I'm happy because you never know, like, you know, hey, I have a new guest come on the show. Hey, you know, can you check out this film for, you know, because my thing with the channel is I always have some sort of Latino connection, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, all right, well, I'm not gonna do Born in East LA. Let's do some other shit, you know.
Born in East LA.
Which is a great, hey, that movie's great.
Which is I like that film.
It's hilarious. But yeah. David has been getting a lot of shit lately, and it always comes back. You know, I was listening to a podcast of these Latino podcasters tearing the movie The Tax Collector up, and we'll get into that. But I wanted to like, oh, you know what? This I think Comix is going to enjoy this, and I'm glad you enjoyed the first film. All right, Mexican Iron Man has a question for you. What are 2 or 3 things you look for in movies these days that make movies great for you?
You know, interesting characters. Depending on what it is, right? I mean, what I like in a comedy is different than what I like in a war movie, right? It's like, and like the movie Fury, it's the humanity, right? Dealing with not so good situations and telling an entertaining story around that, and that was the thing with Fury for me. It's like you have these characters, you know, they come from all these different walks of life, and they're kind of, you know, pulled together because of the war, and just, you know, they were interesting. They're well developed. They didn't come off as being 2-dimensional, you know. But they what they did come off as is being war worn, which is what they should be. They basically been in it since the start, which goes back to what I was talking about with, these guys are veterans. They're not newbies. They're not going to make newbie mistakes. This is like one of my complaints about with Boba Fett. These people are not new. They know what they're doing. They're competent soldiers.
You just had to say Boba Fett, didn't you?
I did.
You just had to like put it right, a little knife, little.
Yep. And
you're
and
so
then
right, though.
They have the new guy, which you expect to make all the mistakes, and he does. And it's seeing that kind of growth with that character, and that's what I he didn't come in like, I'm perfect. I know everything. It's like he's a fuck up, at the start. And it's not because he's a fuck up. He's a fuck up because he's new. He doesn't know the ropes yet. He hasn't experienced real war like these guys are. And that, I mean, probably one of the I would say the most fucked up things they did to him. He's like, go in there and clean the tank. And then he finds like the previous front gunners half his face. It's just like, oh my God. I mean, talk about ripping the Band-Aid off. Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah, man. I mean, and that's why I really appreciate Ayer.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate his storytelling, man. From Training Day to Tax Collector, he rips the Band-Aid off. But I love that you said that, because these are this is the end. This is like the last weeks of the war, literally.
Yeah.
Right. And they never say no to a mission.
Yeah.
It's just the kid. The kid is like, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to do that. It's like,
get
your ass in there.
Yeah.
And then he becomes the machine. He becomes that war machine.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's fantastic. The setup, like you said, those elements. You have a great hook that it's in a tank, because that's just never been done before, right? Or if it has, I haven't seen. Must be.
I can't recall a movie about a tank. Yeah.
No. I mean about a submarine. Yeah. But yeah, man. Your boy's here, and my buddy, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser.
What's up, buddy?
Good dude.
He is.
Dude. Yeah, a lot of good people in here. Let me see. What's up, Soul Assassin? Character development is key.
Yep, it is. Going back to what I was asked about, what do I look for in a movie? If it's about somebody who is new, it's about that growth as a character, right? Like, what we saw with the kid in Fury. It's a lot of the issues that we see with modern storytelling, and we can get into the Tax Collector in a bit, because they have some really badass female characters in that. Gada was nasty.
Well, who wants to come on the channel? Who come on is Conejo.
Really?
Yeah.
He
wants. I'm kind of scared, but I'm like, oh yes, sir. Let me call you back. But then I saw this performance again, and I saw some of his interviews. I'm like, dude, there's something about him, like, because he's not an actor. He's not an actor. But you believe everything he says, every threat.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it just. The funny thing is I didn't realize that Shia LaBeouf was in that movie. It's just like it just
so much.
Damn, dude, he is hardcore in that.
He was wonderful in it, and again, a lot of people talking smack about that. Tom, what's up, buddy? What is that? A sad face? Why are you sad? Don't be sad. The great Tom of Midnight's Edge.
What's up, Tom?
And I work for them, and we do Midnight's Edge Espanol. We have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great time, and really owe Tom and Andre, Mexican Iron Man, and the boys a big hail. I bet Paul can get Shia LaBeouf on the show. That would be insane. So
I remember him from like Transformers, where he's just playing a complete, goofball, and then Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And it's just like, it's like, this guy's horrible. And then he's like, and you see him in these two movies, you're like, holy shit.
Committed. I always used to think of him as as the kid in Holes, like a kid actor, and to see him grow up, and now just Creeper was legit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Creeper was legit.
I mean, he
So
was
yeah, go ahead.
hardcore.
What's that?
I say he looked hardcore.
Hey, Comics, any final words on Fury before we move on to the tax collector?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. Holy shit. I mean, I know this movie's like 8 years old, but it harkens back to a better day of storytelling in Hollywood. Great movie.
And David Ayer doesn't let up. I know there's a lot of division about Suicides, the Suicide Squad, the one that he did. I had a good time in the theater. I didn't think it was like horrible, but I know there's like some kind of cut. Or did you ever get a chance to see that one?
Yeah, I did. I saw it in the theater. I thought the story was terrible, but I enjoyed it because the characters were great, and it goes back to what we're talking about with characters, right? I mean, everybody in there, I thought was portrayed very well, and the characters were interesting, and I'm curious to see what the Ayer cut actually is like, because if we get something that is a lot more brutal, like what we saw with Fury and the Tax Collector, it's like maybe this movie could have been really good.
Yeah. Toxic Man Flu for another $10. 3 questions for Comics. What is Comics' favorite comic? How about that? Let's go there.
Jesus. To this day, I think probably my favorite comic is the story Tempest from Dark Horse Comics. It's basically Terminator. Came out, I think, like in '92. And it's Terminator Tempest, and it tells the story about these group of the soldiers going back in time to go and stop a group of Terminators, and it's very good. I would say it's probably one of my just Google Terminator Dark Horse Terminator Tempest, and that is a good arc.
So it's in the Terminator world.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is he related to an Oompa Loompa?
As much as people like to claim that I am a gnome in stature, I am not an Oompa Loompa.
Oh my God, that's not nice. Toxic.
It's a joke.
Toxic.
It's a long running joke because everyone thought I would be like 6 foot something, and I'm like 5'9".
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. So the joke is I'm short.
Who is his favorite mod on his channel whose name begins with T?
Oh, I think it's Tom. No, it's Toxic Man Flu.
Ay Dios. And let's it's a Toxic Man Flu super chat night, and I love it. Thank you so much. Let's play you something fun. You just can't go. Let's just keep being toxic here a little bit. Come on.
He's got some pipes.
So, with that video, what I cut was, hey, Tom, let me know if you want to stop on in. I think I invited him. I'm trying to remember, man. I know it's trying to get like a third, but Conkle hadn't seen the films. Do you know Tom Conkle, the filmmaker?
Yes.
Yeah, he comes. He's like on some of the channels. Anyways.
Yeah, I had him on my show thanks to Tom at one time.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Where was I? God, I lost my train.
We're finishing up with Fury, I believe.
Yeah. Oh no. It had to do with the video with the gentleman with the no teeth and screaming.
Oh yeah.
So I had cut that video because if you play it through, he like screams. He takes a chug of his beer and he smiles, and it's just. I love it so much, but I gotta maintain my it's like, all right, we'll just do the scream. But dude, that's OG. That's OG. Thank you, and thank you to all you guys for all the super chats. It's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. Okay, let's go right now to David Ayer's 2020 movie, The Tax Collector. And this is from the Daily Cella, written by a friend of ours, Kenneth Castillo, in defense of the urban genre. And this was this was right when it came out, but I just want to bring up this image up first, and then we can kind of like jump in and out of this article. What were your first impressions of this film, The Tax Collector? Because
after watching it, oh god, you know, it was great, and again, it was brutal. I mean, it's my first thought is David Ayer, you know, Latino? Because I'm pretty sure he's not allowed to make a movie like this.
Wow, that's funny, man.
I don't personally care, but I'm surprised Hollywood let him do something like this. You know, I'm sure people will find it problematic, especially when it comes to the subject matter, right? I'm sure they're going to call it racist because it's about, you know, cartels and gangs and whatnot. But it's just a really fucking good story.
It is a movie. It's all fake bullets and stuff, people.
Yeah.
So you liked it?
Oh yeah, I did. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Again, it's definitely one of those movies that if somebody didn't suggest it to me, I probably never would have watched it. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know it existed.
Well, let's take a pause on this because we got a very important super chat for you. What's Comix' favorite porn?
Oh God. Unfortunately, I yeah. Tom, what the fuck, dude?
Did we get you? Did we stump you? All right. Well,
it's like I don't think I can admit anything on live on a stream as to what kind of porn I like. That's personal, man.
Tom, pórtate bien. Behave. This is for you. I take responsibility, Comix. I'm like one of those actors. I take responsibility.
Unlike Tom.
Tom is having fun in the chat.
Greg Gregory is what? Because he's trolling me.
He's what?
Yeah, I said you have to get Mr. Grant Gregory's super chat because now he's trolling me.
Okay, Mr. Grant Gregory for $2 Australian says, "Why does Comix have a Jack Murphy type beard?"
Because I'm old.
I mean, let's put. I'm going to bring you up on Solo.
I'm guessing because
rather
of the gray.
Distinguished, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the gray.
Oh, mine is all gray, but I'm going to be 52, so I have an excuse. That's why
my goatee has been this gray since I was like 35.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I've always had.
It's why I dyed. All right, I did dye it at least at one point.
And well, Toxic Man Flu answers for you, Tom. It's midget, of course. Oh. Woo! I like you coming over here, man. This is fun. This is fun. All right. Here, take it easy, everyone.
Toxic Man Flu is great. He comes up with the best shit.
Yeah, is he the one that says like 30? Nick Weiser flavor number 39 or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's also Comix Division's platform shoes on FNT, or he's also Gary's abuse monitor.
Oh my god,
he comes up with the best shit, man. It's fun having him around.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, the story of the tax collector. Let me just tell everybody. And have you guys seen it in the chat? Have you seen this movie, The Tax Collector, from 2020 by David Ayer? It is basically 2 days in the life of this character who is the would-be kind of like next, king of running the carteles and in South Central LA. Him and Shia collect interest on what is it, like 23 different gangs?
Yeah. I mean,
that's intense.
And now that was the thing I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, how is this all going to go to shit? And because initially when he's like 20K short I was like, oh, this is it. This is where things are going to go down. And it's like, okay, that's not it. It's worse.
No, that was like
Far
nothing.
worse.
They just scared him. That was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the day in the life of what he goes through. He's got a family. He's got a mysterious dad. What's going on?
Well, I thought his dad was dead at first until you find out at the very end. It's like, oh, okay, his dad's the boss.
Yeah, you saw that's Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, holy shit, it's Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, he had a great goatee.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So then you get introduced to a new criminal from Mexico, Conejo, who wants to take it all over.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very simple like story, but that's what I like in a crime drama. I don't want I want no messages. I don't want any education at all. And I almost was going, let me just say, I almost was going to send you a link. Oh, I did. I sent you a link of Bobby's interview, the actor.
Okay.
And he says that. He's like, there's no one in this movie. We're not here to educate. We're here to entertain. I really, because he's like, people are giving Shia a lot of shit because they got real
because he's basically playing a Hispanic guy in this movie, and and Shia LaBeouf is Jewish, and that's the funny thing about it. It's like there's this thing called acting that actors used to do.
Well, a couple things with that character, right? Is Creeper is Bobby Soto's character's he's the lead's muscle. Yep. He's the guy that puts lead in people, and it's never explained why Shia's character Creeper, who's Caucasian, is talking like a Chicano. Yeah, and I love that. I absolutely love that because
there's white Chicanos.
Well,
that's the thing most people don't get.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that because you always see that in a body or in a ghetto, kids hanging out. It's like whether it's mainly Mexicans or black. There's always like a white guy, an Asian guy, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing in that gang? Hey, this is where I grew up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the other aspect of it too. Is that it's sometimes it's about where you grow up.
That's what I was getting from his performance. And I love that, like, they didn't explain it because
I felt like they didn't have to.
No, he's just like, God, this guy's real strange and scary,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing too about his character is like, God damn, it's like they did a great job of making. I was like, wait a minute, Shia LaBeouf, holy shit. Yeah. It's like, so this guy's scary as fuck.
so the movie, there's a lot of people in the chat that haven't seen it. So I don't want to, spoil it too much for you guys. It's a kick-ass crime drama. It's a real simple story. But what I appreciate is besides Shia, there's no stars in this movie. Yeah. Comics.
And sometimes I think that makes a movie too, right? Because that's kind of the problem with certain actors. You see them playing this part and you kind of can't believe it. That's kind of the problem I have with Tom Cruise. I don't buy Tom Cruise being the average working man in a movie. I can buy him as a spy or some grandiose.
He's Maverick. He's Maverick.
Yeah, he's Maverick.
He's Maverick.
But I when he was on War of the Worlds, he's like a construction worker. It's like, I don't fucking buy that. Come on.
Why do they have to show him I'm building stuff and I'm moving stuff? Oh man.
Yeah. No. But yeah, you're right. I mean, minus Shia LaBeouf and Jimmy Smits, and basically, majority of the people in here, and obviously George Lopez. The majority of the people in here, he was
great.
In the movie.
Oh, he was. Ayer in his vision said, I want a leading man that looks different for a reason, and because I'd seen this before. When it first came out, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Bobby Soto, I forgot how charismatic this guy was.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the lead actor, he's very charismatic, and you believe him. You're just like,
you buy him as the family man, you buy him as the gangster.
He's two people. He's two people. He says that I'm two people.
And it definitely, I mean, it doesn't pull any punches with stuff. And that's the thing I like about it. It's not like, what we see in some movies where they're like, hey, of course they can't get into it because I don't want to spoil it either, like what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, do you want us to spoil it in the chat? Let us know, because we will.
And the thing about it, and this is what kind of pisses me off about, what they say, not being able to see yourself in a movie. It's like this movie is very unapologetically Latino, and it tells a great fucking story, and it's fine. It's like you can do that. It doesn't matter what the ethnicity of the people are in the film. If you tell a good story, you're going to attract an audience. And it's like I said, I wasn't even aware of the movie, which I'm glad you told me about it, and I watched it because it was great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get excited when I can share movies that people haven't seen, that that of course are connected to the channel and the purpose of my channel, because my thing, with representation is that we're already here. Now, how are we presented? Are they great stories? Because I want Comix Division to love this film. I want Gary to love this film. I don't just want Latinos to love this film. That makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? And the fact that David Ayer, a major director from Hollywood, did this, he gets it. And he got shit because he's not a Latino director.
Yeah, he's not Latino. He directed the movie and wrote the story. Yeah, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Look how, okay. So if you didn't like the film and you're like, oh, David is not Latino. How many Latinos did he hire in front of and behind the camera?
No, a lot. I would imagine behind the camera as well.
And he's launched a few careers. Michael Pena, right? Now Bobby Soto, and and then Chelsea Rendon.
Oh, really? He launched Michael Pena's career?
Well, I mean, I think he really made him a leading man in The End of Watch, and now with the Tank movie, like before, I think that was before Ant-Man. I think that put him on the dramatic level that he hadn't been on. So I mean, not he didn't discover him, but he really.
Well, no, I mean, there's certain films that definitely launch people's careers because you really get a chance to see, their ability to act and whatnot. And it's like, I've always known, Michael Pena as being, kind of funny because of Ant-Man. But there was like another movie he was in where he plays like an android. And I was like, oh, wow. It's like Michael Pena is doing a serious bit. And he was great in that movie too.
Oh, he was a drummer?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he. In fact, this was years ago when I was still in Austin. I interviewed him for like a local thing, and he was in a trio band, like a little punk band.
Oh wow!
But he was still Michael Pena, right? And this was before Mars, like
Well, the funny thing about it is, as much as he had that dramatic part, I mean, he still brought humor, to that movie.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
which one?
In Fury.
Oh God. Yeah, but then there was. You're right, but then there was also some parts where where he's drunk.
Yep.
Where he's just like a zombie. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So going back to Tax Collector, it's not enough, bro, because when hashtag representation matters, they're never happy.
No, of course not. And here you have a movie that, you could say is all about the representation. I would say it's all about the story.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely with you. But what I'm saying is that, this movie happens and David Ayer has his vision. We're represented. Now kick some ass. There's an article that came out recently that said, Hollywood needs to change its narrative of narco and drug movies, and they need to embrace the Latinx joy. And I tore that one up a little bit.
I bet you did.
Because the thing is too is that how many of you guys that are writing these things or criticizing, have you ever created anything? Like,
I would say probably nothing.
Go and shoot something, man. Go.
Mhm.
You know what? Go shoot something on your iPhone. Give me a 5-minute dramatic piece, not period piece. You don't have to. In 2 locations, rock it. Go.
Yep.
So yeah, so they went after David Ayer. I mean, he didn't care, and they went after the depiction and another crime film. They even wanted, with this movie, some Latino journalists suggested that it had a trigger warning before the film. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because it is a drug cartel, and for anyone who's a victim of drug cartels, if they see this film, they need a trigger warning. And my thing is, if you're a victim of drug cartels, you probably are not going to see this film.
Well, you might. I mean, I actually do know people that are victims of drug cartels. I mean, I think I mentioned this before, at least once before. Really good friend of mine, his daughter, her husband is from Mexico, and his family escaped Mexico because the cartels killed his father and his brother. I think he would probably be fine with this movie, but
Well, but I'm saying is that if you're that traumatized, odds are you're probably not going to see like violent films for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you bring up a good point, because it's like it's a movie. It's escapism. It's it is what it is. But to suggest that it just falls in line with the comply culture, man. It's of Hollywood, and it's just like you said, weren't you surprised that this got made?
Sadly,
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Because I mean, that's the rule, right? You have to be the ethnicity or skin color of the people you're directing, or the same gender as the main your protagonist. I mean, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, or you have to be that, and you have to be the right type of Latino.
Yeah,
you can't be the toxic one. You
yeah,
can't be the one. Definitely not violence and not stereotypes. But at the end of the day, what Hollywood puts out is far more worse than Tax Collector. It's garbage.
Yeah.
This is from Kenneth Castillo, and he writes Kenneth Castillo is a filmmaker. He's done 8 films independently. And he says, for my money, David Ayer gets the benefit of doubt for having put a Chicano in a World War II film. Seeing Michael Pena drive a tank was a badass casting choice. And I guarantee it wasn't the studio who made the decision. The least I can do is wait until this film comes out. This is he's talking about they were criticizing this movie, Comix, before the movie came out.
Yeah, the exact same thing that we get accused of doing.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
Even if I hate it, I'm not going to publicly criticize it because of the audience. If the audience digs it, who cares what I think? Here's the cold truth. The urban genre is popular among our people. What is Latinx Hollywood, you ask? It's everything you hate about Hollywood, only a Latinx version of it. It's the same Latinx Hollywood that comes out against a movie like Gerardo Naranjo's Miss Bala. That's like a female crime movie. I haven't seen that one yet, because they say we don't need another cartel movie, yet it's on the red carpet cheering the PG-13 version directed by a Caucasian woman that features Gina Rodriguez. That's Latinx Hollywood. That's fucking great.
That's pretty fucking spot on.
And here he is on what is it, Film Courage. I'll send you those links later on, bro. So let's go. Let me see. He talks about authenticity. Let's go down to here. Here's the cold hard truth. The urban genre is popular among our people. If it wasn't, we wouldn't see shows like Queen of the South, Minds MC, On My Block, and Narcos. All achieve their versions of authenticity in varying degrees. The point is that it doesn't matter how authentic these shows are or how many Latino directors or writers they employ. Our people support these shows regardless, and all of them have gone on to have multiple seasons. You got any thoughts there?
Nope, not really.
Yeah. I'm always torn criticizing films like The Tax Collector or even films like Lowriders because a lot of times actors whom I love and respect and know are often cast in these films. My hopes is that they will raise the profile of those Latino actors, but as that is not always the case. What these films actually do is raise the profile of non-Latino writers and directors of stars of these films. Would the movie Quinceañera have gotten into Sundance were it not written and directed by two white dudes? Over 12 years, I've written and directed feature films that were inspired by movies like Boulevard Nights, American Me, and Blood In, Blood Out. And over those 12 years, I've had actors who have reached out to me telling me no because they didn't want to do anything stereotypical. You can imagine my surprise when I would see the same actors get cast in a higher profile film that in fact was stereotypical, but hey, a much bigger budget and a high profile director will change the mind of many an actor.
Pretty much.
He's coming, the angle that he's coming from, that's his truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's told me that. He's like, I'll ask this actor like to be my film and this and that. And it's like, oh, it's stereotypical. And then you see them in a stereotypical film.
I think that's kind of an excuse for not wanting to do it, right?
It's just an excuse for not, yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what gets them to say yes is probably money. Yeah. Money makes the world go round, right? And it's like you'd be surprised at the number of people that throw their values and morals out the window if it has a high enough paycheck.
Yeah, and you literally held out for a paycheck in a bigger film, and then if you're all about representation, you get a chance to work with a Latino director, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna, but if it's Steven Spielberg, I'll do it.
Oh yeah.
It's an interesting take. Now here's where it gets interesting. Critics are erasing Bobby Soto. David Ayer has publicly tweeted that Shai's character is actually a supporting role, and the story centers around Bobby Soto's character. You might be asking yourself, who is Bobby Soto? Well, he's the dude whose image and name are on the poster next to Shia, yet the people are screaming on Twitter about brown facing. Are so focused on what they hate, they don't even mention Mr. Soto's name. We're talking about a Latino lead in a high-profile Hollywood film. Just what I told you.
Yep.
And again, you get bogged down in you talk about Comix Division. It makes it I almost want to like just chuck it all, comics, and say, you know what? To hell with your representation. I'm not covering your shit anymore.
Yeah.
I get like that sometimes because they don't see, like a quality film. They just, all right.
Well, the funny thing about it, if we just dial back things to the 80s with the Cosby Show, it's like, that's a show that I think a lot of Americans related to. And I'm pretty sure the majority of the people who watched it weren't black. No. It's like, if it has something that, interesting and entertaining to offer, people will check it out.
Yeah. And I want to thank all the people in the chat. I hope you guys are enjoying our talk. I hope you are. And more importantly, go check these movies out. That is Bobby Soto in Tax Collector. And I want to say one more thing. When this movie came out, it was in August of 2020, like the height of the coup. We know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Right. We were like suspicious, but what's going on? This movie was such a breath of fresh air because it was entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a premiere at a drive-through because they didn't know how to handle. David Ayer he wanted to do a red carpet, but what's going on? But they had a red carpet at a drive-through, man. I thought that a drive-in.
Yep.
I thought that was dope. Man.
Yeah. Sorry. It's okay. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Drive through, drive in. Yeah, what's the difference?
You know, that I think that's why I loved it so much when it came out. And I saw it twice, and I saw it with some family members. But we saw, you know, it was like pay-per-view. That I was like, oh man, this is just a kick-ass little movie, and there's some cool shit going on. And I'm a fan of David Ayer.
Oh yeah, and the best part about it is that you have probably the most psychotic character in the film is you know, this female assassin, and you know, going back to the whole thing we're talking about with you know, not OPing character again. It's believable that she can be this assassin, and I love Shia LaBeouf's comment about it's like it's a female you. He's like, you know, color me intrigued. And it's like, and oh, she is nasty. I mean, the shit she does to Creeper at the end. Oh my god. I mean, and again, it's like it's, you know, she's not being portrayed as, you know, beating up guys 3 times her size. She's an assassin, and she just fucking murders a lot of people, and it's believable. Absolutely 100% believable.
Didn't you love how she just was the boss too, like kind of like the cowboy assassins, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
She's
wasn't
hot as
doing
fuck too.
She wasn't doing hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
like,
she wasn't. You know, she wasn't. It was all guns. I the one scene I was thinking, oh, that was funny. She brought her purse to a gunfight. Oh no, it has a bomb in it. Never mind. Because you see, she has like, you know, this bag, and she's walking up, she's just blowing all these people away. Opens the gate, and she walks in and throws this thing down. It's like, oh, that's nasty. Because you get this beautiful shot of this large kind of like pipe bomb with nails wrapped around it. It's like, oh, that's going to cause some damage.
and here's who Comix is talking about.
And yeah, Cheyenne Ray Hernandez is very, 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 very attractive woman. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that scene. I mean, go ahead.
It's a badass scene.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude. Just okay. So I love the fact that they're basically, I say they're like taking the stronghold, and you're like, okay, the people in the building have the advantage. And you're like, oh no, they don't. Because like I said, she strolls up, and she has the gun in her hand and her handbag, and she throws out that you know, that pipe bomb and just fucks shit up. And I love how the guys are, you know, they're all armored up. They have the face masks on, and they just score 4.0 in damage. They roll in with this in this van, and they just pour out, and they fuck some shit up. I mean, it's just like really well done. Yeah, and she's hot, and she's a killer. Yeah, but dude, I mean, this movie, yeah, the wife,
she was good.
She was very good. Yeah.
You were saying?
Oh, I don't know. My train of thought got derailed. But yeah, I mean, there's Shia LaBeouf, and it's like, I mean, he looks like he could be Latino. I mean, there are light-skinned Latinos out there. I've known quite a few. But yeah, I mean, he was perfectly believable as his character. And like I said, have you ever seen American History X?
Of course.
Yeah. So this is like his movie where I never really took Shia LaBeouf seriously. And it's the same thing with Ed Norton. You see Ed Norton as a skinhead, and you're like, holy shit, this guy is hardcore. And it's the same thing with Creeper. And they're just talking about all the shit that he's done. He's like, dude, oh, I mean, he just looks scary as fuck in this movie.
It's
Shia LaBeouf.
Well, so they hired Conejo's road partners, like one of his drug homies, to be Shia's consultant, and you could tell, man, Shia just soaked it up.
Oh yeah, he killed it.
He killed it, because his first line is, you know, what, I don't get a hug anymore, to the cousin, and but the way he said it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like my cousin. Like, what? I don't get a hug no more.
Well, the funny thing about it too, I love where they're driving around the car and they're having these conversations. He's like looking for food. He's like, what, no burrito? And he's like, no, man, I'm doing keto. I lost a lot of weight.
those conversations. Thank you. Those
They're
conversations
so
were gold.
good.
Were
They
gold.
were. Yeah, because it shows you like the humanity of these characters, despite the fact that they're bad people. They're still people, and they have like these human conversations. Some conversations people would have or between two friends. And I love how he's like eating the fish. He's like, "Oh, that smells terrible." It's like, what is it? It's like, it's fish. It's just like fucking funny.
It's fish, yeah. You do yoga? I meditate. You meditate, Holmes? You're talking about meditation. And this would be a pivotal part because his character saves one of the Bloods.
Well, and that's another thing too, that there's a lot of in this movie is there's shit that they have in there that pays off. This is one of those scenes. And the second one is the not Aikido? Jiu-jitsu. Thank you. Is the jiu-jitsu scene.
Very cool.
Yeah, because that's kind of the problem that a lot of movies have too, is they have like these random scenes and there's no payoff. And definitely both of those two scenes right there have payoff.
I mean, there's no wasted scenes. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Good point. Because spoiler is that he basically does a jiu-jitsu move to save his life.
Yeah, that right there. I mean, that scene and the ritual that he does beforehand, the kind of the Santa Maria that he does. Oh man, it's like, dude, that shit was scary. And then that shit was scary. It's like
that's actually Santa Muerte.
Santa Muerte. Okay.
And that's what all the drug cartels. That's who they pray to. It's just a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And the one thing that they have is you have the two sacrifices that happen. Is like the second one I was not expecting.
No.
It's like, damn, that's like that is some hardcore shit.
So this is Conejo. He's an LA rapper. He's like a LA icon. This is he plays the head. He's basically the bad guy of the film.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy. And it's great to have bad guys that aren't confused that they're bad.
Yes. Yeah. Or good guys that are confused for being bad guys or something like that. WandaVision, anyone? Anyway.
And look at his gunman, man. That's just sick.
Dude,
man.
All those guys were like that. How they have those shirts and then the body armor over it.
And some that had cowboy hats.
Oh yeah, some had cowboy hats. Yeah.
God, that was so cool, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, and he takes out George Lopez.
Yeah, he takes out a lot of people in very nasty ways. Yeah,
he's a pretty sinister. He's and it makes Danny, the lead guy, Bobby Soto, like a good guy, even though he's really not.
Oh yeah.
He's good to his family, but he's
a bad guy,
right? But it's like bad guy going up against bad guy, man. But what Conejo
bad guy going up against worse guy.
I mean, he's evil incarnate. He says that I'm the devil. So good. Yeah, man.
God, he is just fucked up at the end,
bro. But we'll just keep showing photos.
Well, one thing, okay, going back to the whole thing with Boba Fett. Okay, go back to that previous film, or that previous image. Sorry, not previous film. That right there is a perfectly good example of you could say he's established, right? He's established in his career. This is a perfect example I'm talking about when it comes to a established character struggling. This was like my biggest complaint with Boba Fett, is that you don't see him struggle at the level where he should be struggling at, encountering a superior foe. And that is exactly the story that we see here. David encounters a superior foe and has to work through the process of overcoming it. He's already established in his career. He was a gangbanger when he was a kid, and now he holds a very kind of prestigious position within this cartel. So he's experienced. And then,
great point.
yeah, his struggle is overcoming a superior foe, which is what happens in this film. And that was my main complaint about the Book of Boba Fett, is that you don't see this type of story. This type of story is what we should have seen with the Book of Boba Fett.
You bring up a good point. I'm not going to argue that. I think it's easier to do that though in a movie than you can get lost in a television show. I think ultimately Rodriguez and company they got lost in the shiny stuff.
I think this is the problem with that series. It's like most things on Disney. It's fucking filler. This is a story. Yeah, what we're getting with Disney is filler. It's content. It's content for the streaming platform. This is a movie.
This is a film. Like this is like, and I think this is what we wanted. This is the Rodriguez we wanted.
Yes.
To do Boba. To do a Boba Fett, at least PG-13 film. Right? If not, I get it, bro. I get it. But Mr. Tickle Truck says, come on, Jawas are a superior foe. God. No. Okay, moving on. But yeah,
that's a great picture of Shia LaBeouf right there. He just like dark glasses in a dark room smoking a cigarette. That's creeper.
And he's got the fun banter with the female cousins. A lot of female roles in this.
Yeah.
And they were clowning on him. And
yeah, oh god, yeah, they drove off his date. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that right there that's scary shit, dude. I mean, come on. A bunch of dudes that otherwise you might say look kind of goofy, but they are scary as fuck.
Yeah.
They got their Western wear and those fucking masks and a bunch of big guns.
But the low level camera angle makes them look like giant. They're like giant. They're menacing giants.
This is why David Ayer, when it comes to his cinematography or in his movies or it's done so well, because when you want to establish power, you have that upward shot like that.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, very good shit.
Tax Collector 2020. If you haven't seen, that right there. Oh my god. And this is what I was talking. Since you have the thing on here, that's his wife. That's David's wife. She gets killed, and that's something that in most progressive films they don't kill a woman. They don't do that shit anymore because of they fridged her. It's like, no, man, the guy is making it personal. He's going after his family. He kills his wife, and just that fucking scene is so good because I mean the bad guy delivers on all of his promises. He's basically taking everything he cares about away from him. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And in the reality of that world, this is exactly what happens: is that you kiss my ring, or I will kill your family.
Yep.
That was. Oh, that's when he comes in with the homies. That was kind of cool because he did the slow motion on that.
Oh, that was a good fight scene. Really done very well.
You know what I loved about that comics? He only used slow motion one time.
One time. It wasn't overused. And it was it was used sparingly and at an appropriate moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Mr. Tickle Trunk this is seen this movie. The reason the wife dies is because that's the person, aside from someone's mother, that you least want to die.
Yep, that is correct.
I actually forgot they killed her. I actually forgot.
You did?
Yeah. It's been like I said, a couple of years doesn't seem like much, but
that's another thing too. I'm surprised they didn't complain about. It's violence against women. Yeah, that's right there. When they're showing all the nasty shit he's done.
I kind of wanted more of a longer scene of him doing that. They probably shot it, bro. They probably shot it. They probably cut a lot of a few of his stuff out because He got a chest tattoo for the movie, and they never showed it.
Oh, really?
He got a real chest tattoo for the movie.
Oh, that's funny.
He's bonkers.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, just see right
He's
there.
like, dude,
I'm just smoking a cigarette. After
Another day at
chainsawing
the-
the fuck out of somebody, you can see the chainsaw there. Well, that's an homage, by the way.
That is homage. Yes,
Yeah,
go on.
that is
please.
an homage.
To
Scarface.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was killer, bro. I love his booties.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Poor George Lopez.
what
Again, look at those guys, man. They look fucking hardcore.
I love that they have all these photos here. Oh,
Yeah.
that this one kind of got me because I'm like, is he not happy with what he has to do? Did I see a little bit of humanity in him, or was that just me? What were your thoughts?
What, right there?
Right there, when he knows he's gonna kill her.
Yeah. You could definitely say it's probably that kind of rationale of, killing men's one thing, killing women's different. Despite the fact that he has a psycho bitch killer.
And he just sacrificed, put that blood all over him. That was nuts, man.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
My only complaint with this scene is, why does he have a wheel gun? And in the age of automatics and the Glock 19, why does he have?
I mean,
Why
isn't
does he
he
have a
like
wheel
supposed to be strapped with all kinds of guns on him?
Yeah, he is.
And he pulls that what from his ankle?
Yeah, that's right. It's an ankle gun. He probably last resort. But yeah, I love how he lists all the weapons that he carries on him.
That was kind of cool.
That was funny.
And Maria with tea and telly for $1.99. It's a super sticker of a mic drop for your mic dropping moment, and you have a lot of them. Much love to you. Thank you, Maria. Beautiful Maria. Very cool. Yeah, I think we're actually gonna wrap it up. I mean, there's so many photos on here, comics. I'm really surprised. I love that.
Yeah.
He crosses himself.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing about it is that kind of combination. And even David's character talks about the whole thing with going into the darkness and coming back to the light. Because obviously David is a very religious man, and so are these people.
Yep. And
just he crosses himself before going into battle and murdering a bunch of people. Yeah.
Fantastic. Any final words on this movie?
Good movie. Go see it.
That was in her purse.
Yep. That was the pipe bomb in her purse.
Look at the nails. Look at the nails.
Yep. That's what I was talking about. When you see that, like, oh, this is going to be nasty. That's going to cause some damage. Yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't hear about this movie. That scene right there. Oh, talk about going back to the whole thing with the brutality of David Ayer's films, man. This guy, they to get him to talk, they basically open up the van's door and give him a severe case of road rash on his face. You can see where parts of his lips are missing, and it's just like, fucking A. Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah,
hey guys,
if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out.
Absolutely, comics. Real quick, let's support our boy. We're going to be done in a few minutes. Head on over to Nick Weiser's channel. Well, I'm so happy you like the film, man. It's, I think David Ayer is just a rare, and there's Chelsea Rendon as his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
We had her on the show. She's crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
She's like good crazy, but like she's a real chick from the hood.
Yeah, she was great in this movie. Yeah, there she is. Damn. Oh god, that scene's brutal too. Again,
hot chicks doing hot shit. Yeah.
Hot chicks doing hot shit. Hot things and looking nasty. God, that scene was brutal too. Oh my god. I mean, it's like just watching, you're like, oh, that scene was good too, where she's You don't know she's even in the room until she walks away from the wall because she's painted black and she has all the the markings, the white markings on her. Yeah. Oh God.
That got me too, man. That got me too. Blair D. Blair for $5. Great stream, guys. Gracias, man. Gracias. We'll play a video in a second for you guys. Hot chicks and guns, yeah, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very disturbing when they came out of that wall.
Yep.
Well, the movie's Tax Collector, the films of David Ayer. If you haven't seen them, Fury and the Tax Collector, highly recommend these movies. And Comix, man, thank you for like your not only like your time here live with us, but you made time out of your schedule and watch these films.
Well, I'm glad you suggested them because I really enjoyed both films, man. They were very good, and it's nice to see that even in 2020, during the age of the great awakening, that we can still actually find good entertainment today, which is a rarity, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's like I'm not super familiar with David Ayer's work. I mean, I didn't even realize that he directed Training Day, but holy shit, man, he's a great director.
He didn't direct it.
He wrote it. Okay,
even better. Like
yeah,
that was a great story. The same thing. Like a lot of people don't talk about him up there, like with Gunn or what's the Tenant guy.
Oh yeah,
Dark Knight. Like, yeah, but you look at his last 10 years of work. Some great movies, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, what do you got going on your channel that we can let people know about?
Oh well, Thursday night throwdown. Nolan, thank you, Mr. Chicken Trunk and Soul Assassin.
Nolan, yes,
yeah,
thank you, Soul Assassin.
Of course, Friday there will be Friday Night Tights, and tonight I'm going to be working on Jesus Christ, on a video. I'm tired.
I know, bro.
For Unsafe Space, talking about the Great Reset. So that's kind of what I got going on. I've been pretty lax about creating content for the channel, at least when it comes to the actual videos. I need to, finish my Book of Boba Fett review, which there's only 5 episodes, so I have only one more video to do.
I hear you loud and clear.
Because the other 2 were Mandalorian episodes.
I think they had to hey, we got those Mandos done and get them in here.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, let's do this again.
Definitely.
Let's do this again. I got other films for you, maybe in a month or whatever it is, but thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for the recommendation, man. I do appreciate it.
Comix is gonna direct the Dick's Collector. What the fuck? That's your best one in a while, Soul Assassin. That is funny, man. Funny.
Yep. Long live the Dick's Division.
Dick's Division. Wow. All right, we'll take you out with a thank you video and closing credits. If you're a member of the channel, you'll see your name on the closing credits. Please subscribe to Comix. We have his links and all that good stuff. Have a good night, everyone. And wherever you're at, keep your slant muy fuerte. Peace, everyone. Take care, Comix.
Night, guys.